Now there's another two groups of people that I want to talk to you about before we get into these ayat. Very important. As a matter of fact, the Jews of Medina were divided into two categories. The Christians are a separate phenomenon. Predominantly, it's the Jews that I want to talk to you about today. The Israelites. They're in two categories. One of them has already been talked about, the heads of the rabbis, who recognized the Prophet ﷺ immediately. They recognized he's the messenger. And when they recognized him, they got terrified. They were terrified. You know why they were terrified? Let me just paint this scene for you so that when these ayat come, we can pass by them quickly because you'll have all of this background already. You see, the rabbis of that time, they were the ones giving the khutbah, the sermon. They were the ones giving the lectures. They were the ones teaching the religion, yes? And they were the ones giving the fatwa. So everybody who followed the religion, the majority of the Jewish tribes, they would come to the rabbis for their fatwa, for their sermons, for learning the religion, everything. If they accept Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the final messenger, are they going to give fatwa anymore? Is anybody going to attend their lectures anymore? Is their synagogue going to be filled anymore? No. They are going to go from being teachers to being students of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they're going to keep their mouth shut because now this is a religion of sami'na wa ata'na. We hear and we obey. Even they're going to be quiet and listen to the Prophet ﷺ, which means their entire social profile, their reputation in the community. This is the alim, this is the scholar, this is the mufti, this is the khatib. All of a sudden his career is what? Is gone. There's no value left in him, you know. And this is actually a very big part of religious psychology. In any religion, when people are in a position of clergy, when they're in a position of sermoning people, teaching people, it's a place of influence. Actually, it's very close to politics. Because a politician influences people, and a religious leader also influences people, and that's why corrupt religious people get very close to politicians, because they're cousins to each other. You know, they're related to each other. Now these religious people, they had a lot of influence on the people, and of course when you have influence over the people, you can also ask them for money. And if they're corrupt themselves, eventually somehow or the other money goes in their pockets. And so they'll give the kinds of fatwa and they'll give the kinds of verdicts to people that they want to hear. They'll even change their religion to suit the public. You know, that's what they used to do. Now this prophet has come along and they know he's the actual prophet, but they know that if they accept him, then the entire population under them will also accept him, which means their business is finished. Because for them, religion had become a business. By the way, I'm talking about the Jewish community of Medina, but I'm not limiting this conversation to Jews or to Medina. Religious leaders in any capacity can turn religion into a business. Very easy. Very easy. And you know, in any business, you have competition. And in order to stay on top of the competition, sometimes it's not just enough that you have a good product. The only way to keep your customers is you have to go after the other guy. So your sermons, your khutbahs, your lectures are going to be about how misguided that one is. And how deviated this group is. And how you shouldn't listen to those. And you shouldn't listen to these. And that's all you're going to talk about. Because you're afraid you're going to lose your customers and they're going to go over there. So what did these people start doing? The leaders of the Yahud, their khutbahs, their sermons, their lectures, their inner discussions were about, watch out for these Muslims. Don't go listen to him. Because you know what started happening? I'll tell you the second category of Jews. Not every Jew in Medina was a rabbi, by the way. There's like you have regular Muslims. Not every Muslim is a alim. Same thing in Medina. Not every Jewish member of the community is a scholar of the Torah. No. And they only know their Islam from khutbahs. Like many of you only know whatever you know about Islam from khutbahs that you've heard, talks that you've heard. So they listen a little bit to Rasulullah ﷺ and they say, hey, we heard this in a khutbah. Rabbi was telling us there's these signs, and when they happen, that's the final messenger. This messenger fits all of those signs. Oh my God, is this the final messenger? And they start sitting in the company of the Prophet ﷺ and they start listening and they start thinking, wow, this is exactly what we learned about. I think this is it. I'm going to go talk to my rabbi right now. I should congratulate him. Guess what I found, Rabbi? The final messenger. You know? So they go back to the rabbi. They go tell him, guess what we found? He's actually saying everything you've been teaching us. Because you've been telling us the last messenger is coming, and 100% everything you taught, he fits. It's so awesome. And when that happened, the rabbi would give them a different lecture. أَتُحَدِّثُونَهُمْ بِمَا فَتَحَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكُمْ لِيُحَاجُّوكُمْ بِهِ عِنْدَ رَبِّكُمْ أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. You don't go talk to them. Don't go talk to the Muslims. Don't tell them that you match with you. They match with you. That you've learned this already. That you agree with them. No. Because if you say that, then you'll have to accept them. And if you accept them, you'll have to join the battlefield. And then you're gonna get killed. Better you don't say anything. Otherwise, on Judgment Day, Allah will hold it against you if you accept. So just play ignorant. Don't go there again. Because if you accept, then you're going to be held responsible. You know, even to this day, there are some Muslims who say, I don't learn anything about Islam, because if I learn, then I'll be responsible. So I'd rather not even learn. That is the exact advice that was given to them. This second group of people is actually the regular Jewish community of Medina, who when they heard about what the Prophet is saying, they found it resonate with what they've been learning. But they didn't want to outright reject it. So they tried to tell the Muslims basically, listen, we're pretty much the same, guys. We're all one happy family. You guys believe in Allah. We believe in Allah. You believe in an afterlife? Yeah, we kind of sort of believe in an afterlife too. We have so much in common. We're one big happy family. We're all going to heaven. Yay. Let's just, and by the way, when they say that, you know what they skip, right? They skip believing in the Prophet. They say we believe in God, and we believe in some kind of afterlife. But what do they skip? Because if you accept Prophet, then you have to obey. And then sacrifices will come. So let's just keep it to the general things we have in common. Let's just have an interfaith conference where we talk about what we have in common in Medina, and we'll all feel happy about each other. Because we're a lot like you guys. That's good enough. And that was another kind of hypocrisy in Medina. They were trying to pass that off as good enough for Iman. So the ayat that we're about to read are about the hypocrites. But they're also about this element of the Jewish community who thought what they have is enough, and that's enough to demonstrate Iman. Now with that back